Hello everyone, I'm Nazar Sultano of ISL Engineering College. Here my topic is DMA Controller 8257. DMA stands for Direct Memory Access. It is a device which transfers a block of data between the memory and peripheral devices of the system, which means it is the hardware of data, memory and peripheral devices in between it transfers without the participation of the processor. And the unit that controls the activity of accessing memory directly is called a DMA controller. Now, let us see the peripheral devices. There are three peripheral devices, that is, we are having CPU, input output device, and memory. Now, whenever we have to access memory first, input output goes to CPU, then CPU goes to memory. So we need two cycles. So it is the time consuming process. There is a direct connection between input output to memory. It will save one cycle. It can be completed in one cycle also. Now, here comes the role of DMA. This is the connection between input-output device and memory. That is, DMA is provided by DMA controller. Let us see the working of DMA controller. We are having the four blocks. That is, first we are having CPU and second DMA controller. DMA controller consists of three blocks again. That is A. Second one is C. Third one is control signal. And third block is this controller drive. Drive is connected here on the top. And fourth block is memory. This is connected by bus. All four components are connected by bus. CPU will send the registers of DMA controller. So basically it programs DMA controller by setting its registers. Also, CPU tells this controller to read the data from drive and store it in the internal buffer. DMA controller requests this controller to transfer the data to the memory. After the transfer of data, this controller sends an acknowledgement to the DMA controller. And after getting acknowledgement, it will decrease the count. This is byte count. Now it will check whether the byte count is equal to 0 or not equal to 0. When it is not equal to 0, it will repeat the steps again. It will repeat the same process again. That is, first step is it will request. Second is it will transfer, as you are saying. It asks for transfer. Third one is it will send acknowledgement. So this would be repeated unless when the byte count is equal to 0. When byte count is equal to 0, it will send interrupt to CPU. In this way, DMA saves the cycle so that input-output device and memory can have a direct access, and it is without the environment of CPU. So there are saving the cycles and saving the time also. This is the DMA cycle. Now 8257 DMA controller plays two important roles, that is input output to memory microprocessor slave mode. Second is data transfer processor to peripherals master mode. Has priority DMA request logic. Now we are going to see the block diagram of DMA 8257. It also consists of four peripheral devices, that is DMA controller, processor, memory, and input-output devices. That input-output devices is also known as peripheral device. Here yellow arrows which shows the bidirectional. With the help of these yellow arrows in DMA controller, processor, memory and I/O devices can be in both directional. which we can transmit data. Here, hold acknowledged, that is HLDA means hold acknowledged. We have previously learned in 8085, that is hold acknowledgement, and hold, that is hold pin, and IO write read operation. DRQ means DMA request. DAC is input output device sends request, it acknowledge this pin, and then this pin will activate. MRW, your memory site means memory read or memory write. Data can be read from memory or data can be write in memory. Then this pin will be activated. Now we have seen this block diagram of DMA. Now let us see the working of the DMA, that is Direct Memory Access Controller. DMA, we have already learned that it is a hardware unit that allows input-output device to access memory directly without the participation of the processor. It does not involve the processor. Without the processor, it directly accesses. As we have seen in block diagram, the main four peripheral devices are processor, DMA controller, memory, and input-output devices. So whenever first point is, whenever input-output device wants to transfer the data from memory, it sends a DMA request, that is DRQ, to the DMA controller. DMA controller accepts this DRQ and asks the CPU to hold for a few clock cycles by sending it to the hold request, HLD. Second is, CPU receives the hold request from DMA controller and relinquishes the bus and sends the hold acknowledgement to DMA controller. Third is, after receiving the hold acknowledgement, DMA controller acknowledges input-output device, that is DAC, that the data transfer can be performed, and DMA controller takes the charge of the system bus and transfers the data to or from memory. Fourth one is, when the data transfer is accomplished, the data rise an interrupt to let know the processor that the task of data transfer is finished, and the processor can take control over the bus again and start processing where it has left. It will start again where it stops, and it will start from that. Now, as we have seen the working of the 8257 controller, now we are going to see some features of 8257. We are having, as we see that working, it has 4 channels which can be used over 4 input-output devices. 4 channels can be used in 4 input-output devices. Second is, each channel has 16-bit address and 14-bit counters. Each channel 1, channel 2, channel 3 is having a 16-bit address and 14-bit counter. Each channel can transfer data up to 64 KB. Each channel can be programmed independently. It does not require anything. It can be programmed independently. It does not depend on anyone. It can be programmed independently. Here we are having each channel can perform read transfer, write transfer, and verify transfer operation. Here it generates mark signals to the peripheral devices that 128 bytes have been transferred. It requires a single-phase lock. Its frequency ranges from 250 Hz to 3 MHz. The frequency range is between 250 Hz to 3 MHz, and it operates in 2 modes. We know that. What are that? That are master mode and slave mode. Now we have seen the features also. Now the last one is architecture of DMA 8257. So how this 8257 works means, how here we are going to see what this architecture consists of. DMA controller is having 4 channels, that is channel 0, channel 1, channel 2, channel 3. So there are channels are connected to peripherals. Each channel is having 16-bit address and 14-bit counter. Here each channel is programmed independently. Here DRQ0, DRQ1, DRQ2, DRQ3. These are the 4 individual channels of DMA. These are request input which are coming from the peripherals. Request inputs to the DMA controller, so the total 4 requests can be given at a time. This DRQ node is having the highest priority and this DRQ3 is having the lowest priority. First, the peripherals are sending DMA request by activating the DMA controller. Whenever it becomes master, DMA controller becomes the master, then it sends the DMA acknowledge to the peripherals and the priority resolver will decide which request is having the highest priority. This resolver will decide which is having the highest priority. Now, in this side, left hand side, in this side, everything is connected to CPU. Central Processing Unit. So here the D0 to D7 is the bidirectional data bus will be connected. We are having 3 components, that is data bus buffer, read-write logic and control logic mode set registers. Now we are going to see the read-write operations, that is input-output read, which is used by the CPU to read internal registers in slave mode. Input-output write, it is used to load the content of data bus to 8-bit mode registers. Clock, as we know that what's the operation of clock. Clock is required for internal operations of 8257. Reset is it resets all the DMA controller, means it disables the all channels. And here A0 to A3 is the 4 least significant to address lines and CS is chip selection. A7 to A4, these are the higher address lines and ready pin and HRQ is hold request, which is used to receive the hold register from output device. HLDA hold acknowledgement is sent by the CPU to the DMA controller. MR memory read the data from the address memory location during DMA read cycle. It reads the cycles, and this is the DMA, and this is from the DMA. It reads the cycles from the DMA. And here AEN is nothing but it is used to disable the address bus and data bus. Here ADSTB, address strobe. This is the strobe signal convert memory address to latches. It converts the memory address to latches. TC is terminal count, which indicates the present DMA cycle to present peripheral devices. Mark. Whenever the 128 bytes of memory is transferred, then it indicates the mark signals to the peripheral that the data is transferred, that is by the marker. So this is about the architecture about the DMA 825. So here is the about the DMA architecture 8257. Thank you.